from home. What up, fam? Happy Friday to everybody. Today is a very special day because in honors of Mother's Day, this Sunday, we are going to be paying tribute to all the amazing moms out there, like our very own Tam Tam.
Applause.
So, this time is especially hard for moms. We appreciate every single thing you do. I don't know how you guys do it with the homeschooling and the meals and the cleaning and tending to your husbands if he's in there too. So we really appreciate you, moms, and we just love you and send you so much hugs from right here. Safe, clean hugs. And because moms work so hard, I decided to make a little drink specifically for moms, specifically the caffeine kick that I know you need. So this is my little tribute to you. It's called the Quarantino Cappuccino. Here we go.
Ooh.
All right. So it's basically a twist on a Dalgona coffee with a little bit of the whipped mix, but it also just has all the easy ingredients of a cappuccino. So you start with a tall glass, and you dip it to rim the glass in a little bit of honey, like that.
Ooh, nice.
Right?
That already sounds bomb.
Ice. Okay. If you want more water in it, put more ice. If you don't, then chill out on the ice, right? Then you go into any type of espresso liqueur that you love. I'm going for an extra dose for you, Tam, because I hear you there. I'm in love with Japanese whiskey lately, so I just love any type of deep whiskey. This is an amber Japanese whiskey. Get that in there like that. Since it's Friday, let's just keep it pouring. And then your favorite choice of milk, which for me, oat milk has been my fave lately.
Love oat milk.
Love oat milk.
And because when you're Asian, you use chopsticks to stir. So you just stir it up like that. And then if you're a fan of the Dalgona whipped milk, I used coconut milk. So it has a little bit more flavoring with just like 2 tablespoons of sugar. And it almost tastes like you're having an ice cream treat. So you just need a little bit like that. Inside the cup. And because we're saving turtles while we're quarantining, no straw needed. Sip and enjoy. Cheers, ladies.
Oh, that's amazing.
Cheers.
Let's get into some girl chat, yeah?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So first up, if someone told you that you were acting like your mother, would you take it as a compliment? A recent article on Vice decided to ask if we are destined to ultimately become our mothers. It may even sneak up on you where you find yourself cooking, dressing, or even talking like your mom. Psychologists say that this could be because of inherited patterns you gain just by watching your mom over the years, so far back as childhood. So ladies, obviously, I have to ask, whether you want to fight it or not, do you believe that we are just destined to become our moms?
Yes.
You think so?
Okay, I have
DNA.
Yes, whether you want to or not.
Okay, Amanda, help me. Is it genealogically, if it's through genes and logically, it's happening? Genetically, thanks. Genetically, I think we have things in us. Like, have you ever seen maybe your son walk like his dad?
Yep.
Or maybe the way your daughter coughs, it looks like your mom. There's certain things that just are built in, right? But I think that when we're super aware of the things that we don't like from our moms, we may try to correct it. But I notice when I get older, you start to not care as much, and those things just become innate, and it just comes out of you. And until somebody says you're acting like your mom, you realize.
Give us an example in your own life. What's an example in your own life?
I worry too much about the little small things. Like my mom lives in her DMs, and she constantly all day sends me messages of things that we can't always help, where people have got personal relationship situations and they just feel like they can talk to Mama Mai. So they'll tell her things, and I always tell her, Mom, you can encourage them, but be careful about getting too swept up in those DMs, because a lot of those messages, they get really heavy and they can wear you down. I'm there now. Because I think in the quarantine I have so much time, so I'm in my DMs and I'm reading the messages, and I just read people's stories, and you just feel so helpless. And I think it's just an amazing amount of empathy that my mom has, but it's also, it's that separation you need to learn to not let people affect you and change your whole day because of things you read. But I'm there now. So I talked to Jay about a lot of these things, and he's like, you sound like the type of text messages your mom sends me all day.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah. So I'm noticing I get like that even though I can't help it.
You know what I noticed? When I was a little girl, my mom would cook and she never used measuring tools.
Yeah.
And
Everything
because
to taste.
that, it was like everything to taste. And I was like, that's not right. When I was like, when I was learning how to cook, I'm like, no, you're supposed to use 1.5 teaspoons. And she's like, no, I use love. That's how I measure. Like she just does it, right? And so I was like, no, that's not, right. Especially with me being an engineer, I always thought, if you're gonna make something, make it the correct way. Well, now that I start cooking, I start cooking with love too. I was just like, throw a pinch, throw 2 pinch, throw a dash, So I think in that way, I'm kind of like becoming my mother too. And I can see what she meant by, you just have this feeling when you're cooking, okay, this is how much I want to put in, and that's called the love tap. That's what that is.
I love that. When growing up, my mom was so strict that I was like, I'm never going to be like that. No way. Now I find myself, whether I want to or not, and it's not like I sit there and go, okay, it worked for my mom, let me try this. No, it just naturally comes out. Some of the sayings are, my no means no, don't ask me again. The other one, just recently, I said, when I tell you something, I want no if, ands, buts about it. Just listen. And the big one is, stop crying or I'm going to give you something to cry about. I'm like, no.
I got that one. I got that one.
You got that
one? For sure. I feel like my whole life I've wanted to be more like my mother. Just for multiple reasons. One, I don't think I looked anything like her growing up. I always looked a lot more like my dad. So like my dad's name is Freddie, so people would call me Frederica. And so I grew up with this yearning to kind of want to look more like my mom, act more like my mom. So now that I'm getting older and like cooking with my mom on Sundays on IG Live, when people are like, oh, you guys talk the same or you use your hands the same, I'm like, yes, I'm like my mom. I will say this, the only thing that we've always had exactly alike is I have my mother's body. Like literally we walk the same, we run the same, which is absolutely terrible. We look like total dorks. I think it's the big hips and the chicken leg situation. But I find that anytime I'm compared to my mother, it's a blessing. I'm so grateful to have an amazing mom. And if I could become a quarter of the woman that she is, that would be amazing.
Oh, that's so cute.
What about you, Amanda?
Well, I mean, my mother is from Grenada, so I've definitely picked up a lot of certain just Caribbean traits and mannerisms. Like I know people love to come in our comments and talk about my faces. That is a very West Indian and Caribbean woman thing that we really can't hide our faces and that we kind of are very expressive. And we're blunt, like, I don't know if you all saw, there was a video of, I think she's the Prime Minister of St. Martin. Yes. I might be wrong on her title, but she did a video about quarantine. Yes. And she was just like, stay in the house. And like there were people that were like, oh my God, she was so harsh. And I'm like, she sound like my mama. Like, this is just normal Caribbean directness. Yeah. So I think I've picked that up not only in my speech, but also just in my face. Like my mom and I make like the same, like furrowed brow. Like we have a very similar furrowed brow, and it comes up in a range of reasons. Like it could be something that's really serious or something that's just like mildly annoying, but you're still going to get the same level of brow.
So, low-key, Amanda, if you think you're about to cry, do you also make that face? Like you could be hearing someone's emotional story, but you'll look like what are you saying?
Yeah,
but it's
like,
really that
like
you're just
trying to like make it make sense. So I think like for me, like my mom and I don't physically look alike. Like I don't think we resemble each other in like our features, but like we definitely have. It's like when you're a baby. It's like I feel like I was looking at my mom making these faces, and I just mimicked them, and they never left.
Yeah, the characteristic. there's all these questions about nurture versus nature, which is so interesting to look into. Like, what is naturally innate in you that you got genetically versus what did you pick up from who nurtured you and what you were around, your nature. Interesting to look at. I think it's so cool. When you think of motherhood, I think Tam, as the mother at this table,
Yeah.
do you ever see things in your children that you love or don't love that remind you of you?
Oh yeah. Araya definitely one Aiden, he's dramatic. Like the boy came out dramatic. I remember changing his diaper for the first time. I thought I did something to him. He was just not having it. And Araya, she can be stubborn. But this is the thing. She knows what she
Yeah,
wants.
that's you right there, stubbornness. Yeah.
You know what? I'm owning it though. I'm owning that I can be dramatic and I'm owning that, I can be stubborn. Now the good qualities, Aiden is actually so lovable. He loves to cuddle. And Araya, I don't know, she loves to help people. It doesn't matter if Adam is like off alone and Aiden and I are together, she's like, "Oh, I want to go be with daddy. I want to make sure that he's okay." And I think
Wow.
that's
Thoughtful.
Oh,
Hey!
what? Oh,
We know what time it is.
oh,
Let the fun begin.
yes. Moms hold a lot of titles: best friend, teacher, biggest fan, advice giver, cook, stylist, and more. Believe me, more. And it's not easy finding a way to say thank you, right? Oh, but we're going to try. And I just know how to do it by hooking up awesome moms with awesome gifts. You guys check this out. Measure and Made, powered by Fit Logic, is revolutionizing women's clothing by focusing on shape, not just size. You just take their quick quiz and a few simple steps. You get pants, jeans, and more that are personalized for you from the comfort of your home. And we want to hook up some of our lucky moms at home with some fashion. So head on over to thereal.com for your chance to win $125 Measure and Made gift card. That's awesome.
I love this.